Hello everyone and welcome to the new video on the channel. Today's guest is the game that a lot of you played and a lot of you seen for a while. This game attracts a lot of people not only because of the base game how it is, but the modding community it has. Nowadays games sometimes missing this part in the great gaming industry because the modding community in our opinion is one of the most important things in gaming because you get interaction from your community, from your players, and it's basically an endless thing. Today I'm going to talk about the Squad, a tactical military FPS simulator game. But before we start the review in the Squad 2022, I would like to ask you, if you're not subscribed to our channel, do that. Press notification bell, press like, comment on the video below. What do you think about this video? What do you think about Squad? Did you play it? Which mods do you enjoy about this game? And most importantly, comment which next game you want us to review. So let's dive deep into the world of Squad in 2022. Squad in 2022 is really great. Like it was even before, like it was in 21, in 20, when it was released in 18. Anyway, to get the basic idea, it's a tactical FPS military shooter game which adds a squad up with about like 80% of the people going to play in 50-50 mod objective based game. Squad is extremely team-oriented FPS, with a realistic modern take on armies of today. You cannot play this game like a Call of Duty where you run on your own, kill everyone, slide, cancel slide, whatever. You need to go around in groups, because one bullet here can be so deadly that you're not even going to want to play a game anymore. In terms of level of realism in the game, if you were to say Arma is one of the most realistic FPS out there on the market, then I would say that the Squad is arguably a little bit less realistic than that, but it still has military uniforms, scopes, weapons, vehicles, and maps that all represent its many different playable factions. For example, if you're playing as an US military, you will most likely have a weapon that US military uses, such as M4 or M1 Abrams tank. The unrealistic nature of the game comes in form of the things like the bandage, which each player will have upon spawning, and ink can be used to revive downed ally with a certain time period. Obviously, a simple bandage is not going to be enough to save you from being moved down from enemies over and over again. The game has maps that are inspired by many different places and battles around the world. For example, you might be fighting in the streets of Fallujah in Iraq, or also large open scales with a wide snowy backdrop like a Google Boozy Bay. These maps can be dramatically changed by the way that your team might try to win the games, as well for example as close quarters mobs like Fallujah. Vehicles will stay a big role, but they aren't as impactful as they're on the maps with the long open spaces for them to move down infantry. Speaking of which, infantry is probably going to have a main way which you play as a squad. So, there is a very interesting thing about this squad, like I said, is the modding community. Let me say a few words about that. So, a lot of you know that the game can run different kind of mods, starting from Star Wars, finishing with World War II modes, finishing with the Iraq of real life, whatever, realism, Muslim. All of them are really great, and we have to say that the community supports mods really very well. There is tons of modded communities. One of my favorite was actually Star Wars. I played hours and hours of gameplay there, featuring with also BB2 modes that will literally have your time in. It feels something like hell let loose, but at the same time it's much more greater in terms of the communicational part. Anyway, the vital role in your squad success, however, agreeably is the most important part of your, is going to be the squad leader. Squad leaders are extremely important in a number of different reasons. First and foremost, this will be expected to give your orders to what your squad means. If you don't get your squad orders to communicate what you want them to do, it's more likely you have to do anything. As a squad leader, you are also only one that can set down respawn points for not only your squad but for everyone else to spawn on as well. Of course, there are those players who choose to specialize in different things such as driving tanks or just flying helicopters. The game also has 3 different voice channels which play a very important role. You have to approximately voice all your nearby enemies, allies or you can hear your squad voice or over the numbers of the squad, no matter the distance. You can hear any command of voice which can be accessible. We have played Squad back in the early access and it was loads of fun, also around the edges, but the developers recently asked us to jump back into the game with the recent 3.0 release. We can say that it's not only really super polished now, but the new gameplay and a new map called Black Coast, with the Marines coming on the bench of the new modified weapons loadouts, is really what makes it great. To rank Squad in nowadays military sim games, I would say it's in the top 5 because honestly, the mods what drives cool this game and the developers obviously. The game is really run it to the ground because of the way how the game is going. Community is rising. Developers are working. Everything seems fine for Squad. In 2022, we recommend you to play Squad. Thank you for watching this video, for being with us, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.